Based on that speedrun yet again, this place is called Slide Fort, which makes sense. If it weren't for the water down here, parts of it would look like a skate park. Though I guess the big slide is more of a ski jump type situation. Not sure where to go next, but let's see. Now, I'm not sure if what I said about being able to boost earlier is actually true, or if nailing the timing of what is apparently called the gold boost increases the speed. Based on... I just did one a second ago. It seems it might be speed, because the sound effect happened right when the meter was full. Yeah, I was mistaken. And this is probably the most threatening enemy in the game right here. But it's not too hard to take out. And yeah, you do need to take out all of these, so I guess I'll start by doing that. They sort of aim ahead of you with their bombs. They do look really cool. They're tall to the point of being a little uncanny. Like, imagine seeing that in the distance in real life. It's pretty intimidating. That was close. Oh. I kind of want to decide on an area before I start blathering about Spyro, but... Oh, that place is not accessible right now, let's just say. I guess that's a spoiler, but whatever. This game is free, you have no excuse. You should have gone and played it after the first episode. That place was pretty cool. I'm so indecisive. Ah, that's Bond Tower. Yeah. Well, I think I know what I'm gonna do, actually. If I can just remember... Right. Come here. So, Spyro the Dragon. It's one of the first games I ever played. It's not the first. I think the first game, according to my parents, was Roll Cage, again on PlayStation 1, which is kind of a cool, memorable racing game. But I've never been big into racing games, so... that didn't really go anywhere. So I don't hold Roll Cage as high in regard as I do Spyro. Just focus on these enemies for a second. Oof. I think there were more of them. I don't recall how I... Oh yeah, you can grab there. Because immediately when I saw this big tower, I wanted to investigate, right? But you can't get in from here. None of these ropes lead anywhere. I guess they're supposed to be supports keeping this tower up. Maybe because of the sand, it's at risk of falling over, if not for the supports. At least that's how I interpret its design. Yeah, there are some more enemies here. Might as well take them out. So this is the only thing resembling... I guess I'm interrupting the Spyro time, but oh well. Oh yeah, that attack actually knocks you down and you have to press the jump button to get up. I forgot about that. But wandering around and killing these guys is like the only thing resembling typical open world gameplay. Oh, I'm in danger. Kinda don't wanna face the others now. Then again. Oh, I completely forgot about this detail, but you lose your hat when you're on your last hit. That's really nice. Whoops. I hit a sand shredder by accident. I'm sorry. Maybe now's the wandering and collection episode. Oh, there was a fish here. I completely forgot about that. That was easy. Pretty sure checkpoints heal you, so maybe I should go find one when I actually pick which area I'm gonna do this episode. Or part. I have no idea how to label the separate videos. I settled on parts for this. Maybe eventually I'll make up my mind. So when I first played Spyro the Dragon, I guess I'll slow down and get into that. I wasn't really going out of my way to collect everything. I was just playing the game, having fun, torching and charging bad guys, exploring the fantasy realms. I was saving dragons because, well, that's the whole opening of the game, is that the dragons get turned into crystal statues, and Spyro is the only one who doesn't, because he's a young dragon and he's really small, so the magical projectiles that turned everyone else into statues just missed him because he's tiny. I'm pretty sure that's the implication. So it felt right to save the dragons. It made sense. They gave me tips, which I actually needed as a kid. Like, I didn't realize that Sparks was your life indicator, and so on. But gems, I hadn't played anything like Super Mario Bros., so I didn't understand what the purpose of collectibles like that was. Moment to moment, that, you know, they guide you through the level, they indicate where you could potentially reach in the level design and where you can't, or at least you're not intended to get up there. Main difference being that in Spyro the gems are always on the ground, so they can't really guide you over pits and how to glide, which is maybe a bit of a downside. Some of the toughest parts in Spyro 1 are just very tight glides because, well, there's nothing guiding you where exactly to glide from or how, for the most part. There are a few exceptions, like some gems pointing off the edge of a platform. Anyway, I was just playing the game and I was in the first pub world, and I didn't scour the levels. I thought gems didn't really serve much of a purpose, other than being just pleasing to collect. And I'm gonna stop walking around, because this is where I get to my point. So I just got to the end of each level without really collecting most things. And then I reached a point where I wanted to... Well, I found the exit from the first hub world, the Artisans. And the balloonist told me that I needed a certain amount of collectibles to proceed. And this is that big moment in Tacklebox where you realize what the purpose of the collectibles is. So at that point, actually I think in the case of the first hub world it was dragons specifically, but eventually it's gems and dragon eggs. So I realized, okay, so these things do matter, I should be collecting them. And I went back to explore the rest of Artisans and noticed some of the levels had areas that I didn't think I could reach, but I could. Sort of expanded my horizons at that point. But I still wasn't collecting absolutely every single gem because I realized in some cases that I was way ahead of the totals because I wasn't even told what the requirements were for some of the balloon rides. It wasn't until the end of the game, after the normal ending, where one of the dragons tells you that there's one last world that's still locked, and the only way to go there is to collect every single thing in the game. And at that point I was finally motivated to master Spyro 1, to visit every area I could, which included some really difficult things like... if you're familiar with the game, you'll know treetops and... Oh, I forgot, there was like this one level in... I think it was Dreamweaver's? The Dreamweaver's homeworld? It was like a castle with a bunch of animated armors. The name escapes me. But that should be enough for you to figure out what I'm talking about if you know Spyro. And what treetops in that level have in common is very difficult supercharge jumps that require you to examine the level design and to figure out that there's an area you haven't reached, which is difficult in its own right. Maybe I'm yapping and that's why I'm failing to catch this fish. Let me just focus up for a second. There'll be time to finish my thoughts when I'm just grabbing coins. I think I need to build up momentum somewhere to close the gap. Oh, that's a good way, yeah. I missed another opportunity to build up momentum. Why did you... It's just like the apes. They turn around when you least expect it. And run by you. Curses. Even when paying full attention, I'm struggling. Wonder how much I'll experience the Let's Play curse, as it's called. Oh, there's healing over there. I should remember to grab that. Aha! Now that's the first time that the pity mechanic really helped me. So, where was I? Treetops and that Dreamweaver's level, yeah. So in both cases, the area you need to reach with the supercharge is hard to notice, and... Alright, I remember this. Nice. And even harder to reach, because you need to master the mechanics of the supercharge, which is easier said than done. I think you could go up there. I don't recall exactly. Are these walls close enough to ball jump? Not really. Oh well. I guess these nets that you can jump off of also kind of remind me of Rayman 3. Alongside the balloons, like both of those things reinforce each other in my mind as potential influences. Wait, I genuinely don't remember. Why was this here again? Oh! Right. Yeah, but I just forgot that's how the nets work. I guess if you don't stomp into them, they always bounce you a small distance, but then if you do stomp into them, it's big. Was that really everything that was here? I could have sworn there was Well, there were coins, so that's probably it. And I guess what I'm trying to get at with this whole haphazard explanation of my journey with Spyro is that I began to think about and care about extrinsic motivators. So I guess I will touch on that subject. It's very broad. I don't think there's any one correct way to handle it, but I think some kind of... Oh. Right. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Some kind of extrinsic motivator, at least one really meaningful one, does tend to help games. Because after I've collected everything in Spyro for its own sake, why would I ever collect it again, knowing that it amounts to nothing? Assuming none of the gems actually did anything, none of the dragon eggs did either, other than making a percentage go up on your save file, which, I mean, if that's motivation enough for you, more power to you, but... But personally, completionism alone doesn't motivate me. I know I said I'm a completionist and a sort of a kleptomaniac, but I also began to realize that any time I spend on a game that doesn't feel interesting or rewarding enough, feels like time wasted that I could have spent on a much more robust, well thought out game where everything serves a purpose. That's part of the reason why the objectives in most open world games don't compel me, because it really is just collecting stuff for the sake of making a percentage go up, which, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want games to be intrinsically compelling, but I also want at least one big meaningful extrinsic motivator as well. Which, for me, with my love of arcade action games, is probably going to be scoring systems. I think scoring systems are really great. The best scoring systems... I'm wondering if I'm missing anything in here. I think that was all. I suppose I could look at the... Well, it would only show me fish at this stage, but... Yeah, maybe I missed some coins somewhere. I always worry that I am. Maybe I can do one loop around here. But I think the best scoring systems can almost be seen as an objective metric of how close you are to complete mastery of a game. Well, damn. Did the music go out of tune for a second? I don't think I've noticed that before. That's pretty great. Yeah, I think that's everything. But is there even a checkpoint here? I was not paying attention to that in particular. There must have been, right? Maybe not. Well, I guess I can blather on a bit longer and go to the checkpoint of the next area so that I don't wonder. Maybe it's time for a really big area. But which one? I kind of have an idea what order I want to tackle them in. Tackle, did I do that before? I didn't mean to do it now, but I did catch. Oh, I did it again! Tackle, catch, I swear. What do I even say after that? No apology is good enough. I know which area I want to do last, because there's one that left a particularly big impact on me. But for the rest of them, I'm not quite so sure. So I guess this will be the next one I do. The moon is kind of interesting, isn't it? I think it's definitely supposed to be a fish, right? All that debris around it is sort of shaped like a fish, combined with the actual crater and maw of the moon. It's one of those details that makes me wonder if it's going to be plot relevant in the main game. Even better, is there a face in the crater? Now that's something I also haven't noticed before. This is why you should replay your favorite games. You never know what you might be missing. So that was whatever that is. I'm pretty sure the area with all the bouncy nets has some kind of name. I'll see how I describe the rest of what I did in this video. Thank you for watching.